ready.
Hey Steve, Mark was just talking about kind of deepening your connection with the guys now that you've got a year here with this group and the same group coming back. And I just wonder, what this is like for you getting into your second training camp here and having the opportunity to continue to kind of forge that connection even stronger.
Yeah, well, it's been good. Apparently, I have fans here too. No, it's been a lot of fun. I mean, it's just, a big part of being on a team and being in the team aspect of sports is cultivating relationships, building trust, building equity amongst your teammates and coaches, just so you can go out there and perform at your best and highest level and have some freedom. And I think through the course of the season last year, just with the different bits of adversity we went through, where I was thrust in a couple different roles through the year, and then to be able to play well in the playoffs and come through for the team, it goes a long way. Just like you said, building that equity, and then also just the days in between, chopping it up in the locker room after practice, the flights, the bus rides, shoot around, stuff like that. Like that time, doesn't go unused on good teams. It's filled with conversation, jokes, banter, and just having a year of that under the belt. I feel very, very at home, very, very comfortable here.
Mark was just saying, improvement, like any year, is an absolute necessity for this team. Anything that you all learned from, obviously, the 2-month just stretch of battles night in and night out that you feel like is something that you can really apply heading into this season?
Yeah, I think it's always great to test yourself against the best in the league, because at the end of the day, the best is what you face, in the finals, conference finals, playoffs. So for us, I think that's kind of where our barometer is, as far as, when we look in the mirror and try to figure out what we need to get better at. We use a lot of that tape against the best teams in the league. Not saying we're overlooking the teams that don't make the playoffs or teams that are playing and don't make it, but I think it's a different level of focus, and it's a different type of attack against the best defensive teams in the league, best offensive teams in the league.
Just with that in mind, what have these first few days of practice been like for you guys as a group, being able to get up and down for the first time?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, I don't think it's your traditional training camp, just with the amount of time that we didn't have to recover compared to some teams, but it's still been great to get up and down and play again. I didn't play a lot of pickup this year. It was just mostly workouts and recovery and taking care of my body. So to get back and actually play 5-on-5 and play with the guys again, it's been a lot of fun.
Last year you were really complimentary of Casey's instincts and just sort of how he defended. After playing a year with him, what have you learned about him, and where did you see him grow the most as a defender?
Yeah, he's just a unique defender, man. He has, special physical abilities that a lot of people in the league don't have. I mentioned it multiple times last year. Just he blocked more jump shots in a season than I think I've seen, in my career up to that point, which is just, there's no teaching aspect to that. We don't go over that in practice. That's just something that he's good at and that he does on his own. So to see, that part mixed with, just his fearlessness, he doesn't matter. He doesn't care or does it matter who is on the other side. He's just doing, what he does, which what I've talked to him, he's done this from, 7th, 8th grade until his 3rd year in the NBA. So it's just a unique combination of like the fearlessness and then the special physical talents that he has.
That through just his own growth, I guess, as a player, playing the game himself, going through a couple seasons.
Which part?
Yeah, just his natural growth as a player.
Yeah, I mean, he's learning from, some of the best in the league, Lou on maybe the defensive end and Shea on the offensive end, and then, obviously everybody else that's really talented around him. But, to be able to see that, and I think that be his only experience in the NBA so far, to see that level, I think that's just what he thinks basketball is now at this level, and he does a great job of matching that. And then obviously, I think he's very intrinsically motivated to be a better version of himself every year, which I think you can tell from the growth he's made from college to year 1 to year 2 to where he's at now. And I don't think that's going to slow down. I think he's a guy that is like a real pro that'll push himself to be better each year.
How much can just the playoffs themselves, the intensity and every round that goes up and down, actually win? How much can that help him? Not just him, but the entire team.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, we talked about earlier, it's the best version of basketball that you can find in the world, I think, is playoff basketball. And having those experiences, and, with that amount of the emotion surrounding it and the intensity surrounding it and the kind of fight or flight feeling of going into a game and then performing well or not performing well and having to live with that and come back and play better the next game, that just hardens the mind, and then at the end of the day, that allows you to physically go out there and evolve your game and put yourself in positions that I think regular season games don't do. So to be able to go through that and then win, obviously, is the cherry on top. Yeah, 100%.
Anybody else?